So depending on how the next couple of weeks go at work, I may have to stop doing YouTube for a while. I may simply just not have time. But there is one last video I definitely want to make before whatever possible intermission occurs about a manufacturer I believe should get some credit. Hohm microphones. I featured this Hohm HRP1 microphone in an unboxing a couple of weeks ago, in which I managed to go the whole video without mentioning the manufacturer or model. You're welcome. But it's like one dude building these in Melbourne, Australia. Very nice. I love to see an impassioned individual building equipment that can keep stride with like mass-produced equipment from big manufacturers. It gives an old man hope. I don't actually know how I heard of this guy. I remember seeing one of his mics briefly referenced in somebody's video, and I bookmarked the homepage. You can't see it, but that's a pun. And when the workload got a bit excessive at work, I had some extra money I wanted to spend on something to make me excited, and I ended up taking a chance in this guy's work. But yeah, really small company. Example, I usually try not to draw attention to the serial numbers on my stuff. Depending on the company, there's sometimes stuff you can do with that info. This one, there's no beating around the bush. The serial number is 9. I think you could guess that pretty quickly. I don't know how many more of these there are out there. I guess at least 8 others. I don't know. Anyway, kind of struck a chord with me when I tried it on the unboxing, and I've been recording with it and testing with it since. And I think I'm ready to give my thoughts on it now. On the physical design, it's a pretty sleek machine. It's not really flashy and covered in chrome bits, but it's very functional. There's a couple of cute touches I enjoy, like the logo being designed to look like a circuit diagram of some kind, at least made out of those symbols. A couple of capacitor-looking things, and that squiggly line, depending on whose chart you're looking at, could mean alternating current source or signal source. Really, alternating current is just a very, very angry signal, so I guess that clocks. I also really like the mesh behind these grills here. I don't know if you can see it in this light, but in bright light it's sort of iridescent. It's a really striking and quirky touch. I also love the hand-stamped B and F on the bottom for back and front. And of course, since I got the fancy one, it's this sort of darker finish with like brass accents, which is really cool. The shock mount it comes with seems like it might be a generic one. I'm not sure. I've seen some at least very similar looking ones for sale. It seems like it's pretty well made though. And there are definitely worse options than using an existing mount, Royer Labs. Under the hood, not that I've been bold enough to actually open it so far, it's a pretty serious machine. The ribbon is 1.8 microns thick, which is really freaking light for this price range. And the transformer was made by Samar Audio, another small manufacturer I've been curious about. The important part, sound, duh. The bass is pretty big. There's no sugarcoating it. Depending on what source you're recording, that can really bring out some difficult to capture weight, or a high-pass filter might be advisable in some things. The mid-range is good and pretty consistent. It maintains good heft all the way up to the lower treble ranges. The treble itself is really nicely precise, with just a little bit of gentling down. It doesn't really get thin like a condenser can on some sources. It doesn't really get harsh like an SM57 can on some sources. That's probably a controversial opinion. As a passive transformer balanced microphone, it also has a bit of color all throughout the range. Combined with that smooth, deep response, I kind of feel like it's like recording by candlelight. Not like real candlelight where you can't freaking see anything, but like movie candlelight where everything is just softened a little, engulfed in glow. The signal-to-noise ratio is not the absolute best, but definitely acceptable. I've got at least one mic where the noise actually made me angry. This one does not do that. Full marks there. In short, it's a ribbon microphone that sounds the way you'd hope a nice, classic ribbon microphone would sound. Royer Labs. You versus the guy he tells you not to worry about. I've got some clips I've recorded trying to test the tonality and frequency response. I'm a bass player, so enjoy some mediocre bar chord noodling on an acoustic guitar. Each clip has a section at my normal recording settings that I'm pretty much using right now, and there's a section with the preamp on low impedance mode with the gain knocked down a little bit, because that tends to open up the sound a little. First, the Hohm. And then the Royer Labs R10 I bought to compare with. I wonder how I'll edit that. Anyway, next is off-axis noise rejection. The Hohm HRP1 has a slightly asymmetrical figure 8 polar pattern. The figure 8 pattern isn't uncommon on ribbon mics with... Let me draw it. Microphone here. Get pretty similar sensitivity to front and back, with natural noise cancellation at the sides. Let's see if my demonstration rig works. Don't laugh, okay? It could work. The front's over on this side. Woohoo! That actually worked better than I thought it would. All right. So, I mean, that was actually fairly plausible. I'm pleased with this recording rig. I thought of that polar pattern measuring thing like 3 months ago when I was sure it was not going to work, but it seems to work okay. So, huzzah! Yeah. All right, on to the next bit. Oh yeah, a fun fact. The backside is actually reverse polarity. If I want to record from the backside to take advantage of the slightly different tonal property back there, I actually have to put it on the phase reversed setting on the preamp. It took a while for me to figure out. That's why the monitor sounded weird, but eventually I did. Anyway, I like having the rear low on the polar pattern. It really picks up the desk pretty well while I'm talking into it, which can be helpful for taking things apart on camera while capturing the little sounds of screws and clips and the like. Note, I love supporting a small business, like Okay, this guy's got a gallery of like archived Instagram posts and such on the Hohm website, and scrolling through them is just freaking heartwarming. Like, there's one where he's clearly hole punching and filling out these little serial number cards. I love that. There was one from like 2022 with an assortment of microphone bodies in the initial stages of assembly, including several HRP1s like mine, labeled 2 through 10. I have some suspicion that the number 9 might be this very one. It could be a baby picture of this microphone. Oh, and when I bought this thing, finishing touch, the guy himself sent me a lovely email thanking me for my purchase. I've bought a decent amount of high-ish dollar equipment, and that still just made my day. A good mic, looks cool, great customer service. I might buy more again soon. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you have a good evening. Like and subscribe if you want. I'll see you again soonish.